Join Corey Cove. Hey, I know that guy. This Tuesday at Chatters in Monticello for the return of Coors Light Hockey Night. Watch Minnesota play Pittsburgh and play trivia for your chance to win a pair of sweet tickets. That's SUITE tickets to the Minnesota game on January 19th. Find all of the event info at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Sorry, I was showing, remember the video of Carly slapping me? Now he's all riled up. Patrick Moy Show, 708. There's Ben Lieber. Hi, Ben.
Hi, good morning.
So you watched the film of the game.
I did.
The Rams lost.
I did. Yeah.
And this is how you sounded.
I focus much more on the game review on the defense because I think we all agree that it's the defense that has been failing us at times in the last couple of weeks.
Strangely enough, yes.
And not to say that they're both sides are not equally to blame for some of it, but you know, when you start off on the road and your offense goes down in two series with back-to-back touchdowns, and then you give up back-to-back touchdowns, like it's hard to blame the offense, at least for the start and for the momentum of Thursday night. Yeah, I'm sure it was sickening for those guys to watch the film back because there are times where I think that by our philosophy, we are not helping out our secondary and our linebackers because there was one time we were playing, it was a big play early in the game and we rushed 6. We play this, I don't know what kind of zone you can play with just 5 defenders, but it's really hard when they block up all 6 and they've got a little time to throw and they hit another middle of the field shot between the hashes. And you're like, well, we got 5 defenders.
Yeah.
You know, it's like somebody's got to get home. And so that is the nature of this. That's the nature of this defense is that if you're going to bring 6 guys, somebody has to affect the quarterback. And we just have not been doing that the last couple of weeks consistently. And the funny thing is, at least in this particular game, I feel like that we are making the quarterback pat the ball and hesitate and be hurried more on 3 and 4-man rushes than we are with 5 and 6. And I think that the idea that we have more guys in coverage and we cover some of the windows, that's part of it. But it seems like we get our defensive line in more movement situations when we are blitzing or rushing 3 or 4 guys. There's more twists, there's more games, there's more stunts. And it seems to be more effective than just flat out trying to rush a guy off the edge and a linebacker in the middle and then sacrificing our coverage. And then on top of that, we have guys that I don't really want to call anybody out because I'm not 100% sure on some of this stuff, but we have some corners in our secondary that just played very undisciplined. And if you have outside leverage, then stay outside. If you get inside leverage, then stay inside. And it was kind of across the board, but there's one particular player that I did not think that played very, very well at all and really affected the game.
Let me ask you, was that that night in particular, or is it something you've seen?
I think the coverage aspect of it, yes, it's been the last couple of games. You know, when Shaq said that, hey, we've had some miscommunication stuff, like you can see it on tape. I mean, there is like confusion and even in their sort of their back pedal about, am I supposed to be here? And so I don't know what's going on with our coverage issues, especially versus some motions and shifts seem to sort of throw off our coverages. And our guys are just not dialed in, and therefore we're getting taken advantage of when we don't get to the quarterback.
Hi, Muss. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
Hi, Muss.
Hi, Ben. Yeah, I totally agree. I know the player that you're thinking of because I've noticed it, like even from like the first week. You and I off air, we were talking about it. I'm like, if he's in trail coverage, we are in trouble. He just doesn't have the step anymore.
Well, it's not so much the speed. Again, it's the body positioning. It is just being where you're supposed to be.
Right.
And that's the thing that's driving me crazy, because there's plays where There's gotcha plays where it happens all the time. Don't care if you're the best corner in the league. Sometimes you're just going to get beat.
Sure.
Guys are going to make great plays.
Tough position, yeah.
Like Shaq Griffin's touchdown that he gave up. Not bad position at all. Great throw. Yeah. Great catch. Sometimes you just chalk it up and be like, hey, man, they get paid too. And they had a great play on you and whatever. So that's a situation where I'll say Shaq Griffin's name, but I'm like, I don't even think that he played that wrong. It was just a tough play. He got singled up outside coverage. And it was just a really good throw by Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback. I mean, they have good receivers. So chalk it up to them. I was just disappointed. We had so many extended drives because of penalties, just stupid things like that. Holding a guy as a corner when you don't need to hold him. Like, why are you grabbing the guy's hand when you have a safety that's over the top? Like, just know the defense that if the guy breaks your coverage, it's fine. You have a safety over the top. You're supposed to be underneath anyway. But yet we grab onto the guy's arm on a third down situation and give them another first down. Like, It's just stupidity that is driving me crazy, that we're making mistakes and extending these drives. And our defense, by and large, is a bend but don't break defense anyway. So we're going to be on the field for a while unless we get a sack fumble, we get a takeaway. But if they just dink and dunk us, we're going to be on the field for a while. So don't give them any extra downs by stupid penalties.
To your point, too, is if you don't get home with pressure, if you don't get home, then you're leaving the backside just way too on its own.
On its own.
And the thing is that you watch the last two games, you played against quarterbacks who have unbelievable arm talent. Mm-hmm. And if you give them any time, they do exactly what they did to us back-to-back weeks. When you're looking at Stafford, who had 3 touchdowns going into the game and 4 that night.
Yeah.
It was just, it was awful. And another thing, I don't know. I mean, are they trying too hard to disguise? Are we in man? Are we, you don't want to give away the coverage too much. So you're trying to disguise it, and then you're finding yourself getting into a position too late. Is that a possibility?
Sometimes, but we're also facing. I think Detroit. They've sort of figured out how to not necessarily max protect, because when you max protect, you usually keep a tight end and a running back in, along with your offensive lineman. They didn't always do that, but they kept one of them in. And if they're able to do that and block all of us up, then you've got time to throw. And again, you're sacrificing the coverage aspect by doing that. So I think teams are learning how to block us up front when we bring 5 or 6. Doesn't matter from what position. They just kind of zone it out, and whatever color comes in the area, you just block it up. And then we are seeing more and more pre-snap motions and shifts. And I think that predetermination, just like KOC does, to see, are you in zone? Are you in man? How you guys gonna adjust to this motion with this particular guy? I think that we are playing a little bit more catch up lately defensively. We are not the proactive defense that we were the first 4 games of the season. Teams are starting to put us on our heels, and that's not a good position for us to be in when we have undersized corners, and we have corners that just flat out they're not speedsters.
Right.
They're position guys.
They can keep everything in front of them. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you for your honesty.
How do you feel about Darnold? Seemed to have a little bit of a resurgence on Thursday night, right after 2-ish or so games before that of looking like the old Sam Darnold. But did your confidence or optimism grow after Thursday despite the loss or not?
No, I think it's, I guess my confidence never really wavered with him. I still think that he's having a resurgence in his whole career, and I think he's been playing very smart and composed. There doesn't seem to be a lot of freak out from him. There doesn't seem to be a lot of panic. He seems to always sort of know what defense he's facing and where he's supposed to go with the football. And I just think that, sometimes it's like, okay, we kind of break on a pass protection. He gets hurt a little bit. I love the fact that he is running more. And I think that he needs to do that 1 or 2 more times in the course of a game. Just use your legs to pick up first downs, use your legs as a threat. And no, I think his command of the offense is fine. And I have no problem with the way he's been playing the last couple of weeks.
Christian Darrisaw out for the year.
Awful. It's going to be bad. I think, obviously Quessenberry is their next go-to guy, and we know that he is a drop-off from what we had in Darisaw, and we're going to have to make adjustments. I imagine we're going to be picking up somebody off of a practice squad or something, or maybe I don't even know if it's a trade situation. We'll have to get another tackle, a pure tackle, just for depth.
Even if Quessenberry's the starter.
Correct. Even if Quessenberry's the starter. The crazy thing is, Blake Brandel could probably swing out there.
I'm wondering about that.
That's the beauty about
that guy.
The beauty about his play and his size is that he is a guard tackle swing guy. And now he's settled in at left guard. He's done a great job, but he is on the bigger side of a guard, which is great. I mean, obviously if you can move and he can have that nimble feet and you can work in that tight area as a big body, that's great. But I wouldn't put it past them now that Reisner's back to say, okay, is our best rotation to put Blake Brandel out there at left tackle and then slide Reisner in at left guard and leave Ed Ingram at right guard?
I like that.
All right.
I like
Interesting. Not a good problem, though, right?
No.
Darisaw's one of the best tackles in the league, and I think they were all hoping he was just going to be out for a couple of weeks, not the entire season. That's devastating.
I think the other option that you could see is, unfortunately, less C.J. Ham in offense. And now that we're getting Hawkinson back,
Are we?
well, I hope.
We've been hoping for the last so many weeks, yeah.
I think we all know it's going to happen at some point in time soon.
So you're thinking more two tight end
We'll
sets?
probably go more 12 personnel. We'll use Josh Oliver as sort of that left side tight end to kind of help out. And unfortunately, we might be a little bit handcuffed with 12 personnel on certain passing downs, and just use obviously use Hawkinson as a wide receiver, but then. You are sacrificing a wide receiver to keep Josh Oliver in there, and then on running downs, you're sacrificing the fullback. But that's maybe what we have to do.
Gotcha. Ben Lieber's here. Michael J. Mussman III is here. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on KFAN and the Fan Radio Network.
This is Sleepless Nights by Bullets and Butterflies on the Power Trip on the Fan. Power Trip Morning Show, how are you? Here we are. We got other sports to talk about momentarily, and we'll get right into Fan 5. But did you guys hear that lady that goes by the name Loomis screw up the national anthem the other day?
Yep.
Yeah.
On what, PBS, right? I think it was on PBS. And it was a little bit of a Burt Blyleven situation because as soon as she stops and swears a couple of times, somebody off camera, you'll hear it. They'll go, well, we're live, because she wanted to start over.
Well, and we can explain all of that, but first I'll play it for you. Listen to this.
Who's brought stripes and bright stars?
Oh, boy.
Through the perilous fights for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets, can I go back? Can I go back, please?
So this is the third party debate. So like Jill Stein and a couple of other people I've never heard of are standing there about the debate to no one because nobody cares. You have no chance. Just drop out. But anyway, everybody's wasting their time here. But this gal didn't understand that it was live, which I can't believe.
Well, I can tell you why, and she explains it in maybe the dumbest interview I've ever heard with TMZ.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Hey.
So you're going obviously insanely viral on the internet for your C-SPAN national anthem. What happened?
Girl, so let me start out by saying I am the daughter of a veteran. So, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't want to mess up the national anthem.
Is this how you got the gig, or how'd you get the gig?
No, because I really do sing, and I'm really a good singer, I promise you. So what had happened was, I didn't know it was live, right?
What?
And I was like,
Well, how did you not know it was live?
because listen, I had walked out, right? And I was like, oh, say, can you see? And then I gave it like the right tone, because you got to start lower so you can get up there, But then he stopped me. He was like, we're not ready yet. Oh. And I was like, what? So then I didn't know it was live because I'm like, okay, we can go back. You know what I mean? And then when I got to the spot, and then I got nervous, and then I was scared. But it was crazy. And can I tell you guys something? Since I was a little girl, this was the most... I've always said I don't want to sing the national anthem.
All right, that's enough. But so she thought it was taped because the guy had already stopped her once because she'd started too early. So I don't know if that was like during a commercial break or something like that, and she didn't know it was a commercial break. I have no idea, but she's about to sometime this week do it again on Good Morning America. They're giving her a chance to redeem herself.
Okay.
Her name is Loomis.
Yeah.
And
she's a good singer. Just ask her.
Oh yeah, she's really good.
I'll tell you what. She's a looker.
What's up with the?
That's the Cardi B thing, right?
Well, and then the other thing
Cardi
is,
B, is that right?
probably.
Maybe.
So after she botches the national anthem and says the F word on PBS twice, so it ends, and then she also has that like hesitation step. She's trying to figure out where to walk off stage, and for just a half a second, almost turns around and gets lost, and then walks off. But in high heels, that kind of weird, where do I go? It just makes her look like she has no idea what she's doing.
That's a terrifying song anyway.
Oh, yeah. No, I told you guys my story, man. I've retired. I will never do that again. There's no way to win that.
There's so many artists that I know that are just like, nope,
not doing it.
This is kind of her Rebecca Black moment, though, because nobody on the planet had heard of Loomis until yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? So good for her, because now she is getting interviewed by TMZ and getting ripped on our show.
Well, and her dad is a veteran, so
that's right.
You know, she could throw the F word.
Oh, yeah, General Loomis. I'll never forget.
Yep. Well, if she has a movie career, I'll watch.
Well, maybe.
I like how it's all taken care of. Just she's hot. So yeah.
Well, I need to look this guy.
Hey, look at that guy.
Look at Dragan Kesic of the Minnesota Golden Gophers over there.
What's going on?
What's happening, dude?
How we doing?
Buddy? How are you?
Good.
Mike Mussman, Dragan Kesic. Ben Lieber, Dragan Kesic.
How are you? Good to meet you.
Yeah. Doing good.
You guys are red hot, man. 3 straight.
How about that?
It's a good it's a good feeling. We got 4 more games left, so it's the month of November, the most important month of football.
Man, and your guy is slinging it. Brosmer is getting better and better and better. Everybody down there loving him, I assume.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, he's a great leader, great guy. He's my locker neighbor in the locker room, so we kind of just mess around. But it's awesome having him. He's a stud on the field.
Man, 320 and 4 touchdowns, Ben Lieber on Saturday for our guy Max Brosmer.
Can I real quick? Can I see your right hand again?
Yeah.
You look like Xerxes. How many bracelets do you have on your right hand?
I mean, a lot of them are from like kids like going through stuff like cancer and stuff like that. They just give it to me and I just put it on. But I don't even know.
Looks like about 10, maybe.
Yeah, I'd say maybe close to 15.
I mean, how much higher are you going to go on your forearm there?
I don't know if I can go much higher.
You don't wear those during the game, do you?
I never take them off.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting in my shower, I take them off, but like other than that, I don't take them off.
Wow.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Good
I always
for
thought I
you.
had to take them off because in high school you can't wear bracelets, but college is different, so it's smooth.
Yeah.
So you have a system in which you put them back on? So that way it's like, well, no, this one I want at the top.
No, I
This
kind
one
of just put them back on.
Okay.
And usually they break when I put them on and take them off. So like then it's like, okay, it's the end of that life. Yeah.
Let me ask you about Brosmer real quick instead of your wristbands.
We knew what you meant.
I thought it was such a great feel-good story when the very first game of the season they highlight the fact that he brought a bunch of people down to, was it North Carolina? Is that where
Georgia.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
Right, yeah.
And he's like, listen, I've got to become a leader on this team and get the guys down here and let's just do a little fishing, a little boating, just get to know each other. Like, did it seem from that time to now, did it seem like genuine? Like it was like, okay, he really wants us to do it, or did it seem like a bit at the time that he's like, okay, here's this guy that's coming in. He's got 1 year with us. Was it a try hard moment, or do you feel like in that moment, like, oh no, this guy's legit?
Oh, I definitely think it was legit because when he came on his official visit, we like sat the captains down in the room and all he did was ask us questions. And then one of the questions was like, what are you guys looking for in your quarterback? And all of us answered as we're looking for a leader and somebody who can like hold everybody to that high standard. So from the get-go, when he got there, from the jump, he was in the front of the room, in front of the team, leading everybody. And then when he did that, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But I legit think that it was And I know that it was a genuine move that he wanted to get the group closer. And you could see from the game on Saturday when he's throwing 320 yards for 4 touchdowns, that thing he did before the season when he took them to Georgia paid off.
This is fascinating. I want to go back to what you just said for a moment. So he came in for a visit.
Yeah.
And you guys all met as a team, and he kind of sold himself to you, and you kind of recruited him. Was that kind of what the deal was?
Yeah, it was just like, so when he was going through the recruiting process, so we had like, I don't know, let's just say, I don't remember the number. It was like, let's say 10 captains where he was just asking us questions about the program, about Coach Fleck, about the team. And then we would ask him questions back about like what he's going to bring to the team and stuff like that. And one of the things we mentioned to him is that we just want a quarterback who's going to lead. And he's taken that and ran with it.
It's pretty cool.
That's a really cool thing. I didn't think that kind of thing would happen. That's cool.
Again, it just sucks that this is it for him.
Yeah, I know.
It's the Gophers have wanted a really like high level quarterback for a long time, and it looks like he has the chance to be that.
Yeah,
but we get one and done with him.
Yeah, but Drake Lindsay, he's a true freshman. He's learning a lot from Max, so he's going to be the future. So
yeah, highly recruited. I mean, that's
what's that kid's skill set? Like, what do you think?
I like what I see out of Drake Lindsay. I'm a kicker, so like I don't really know what to look for in a quarterback. But
the beauty of what you guys do is that like you get to observe. Like,
yeah,
you guys get to watch everything.
Yeah,
I mean, because you guys get a bulk of your practice done before the real practice even starts.
Yeah. So learning from Max is probably like one of the best guys you can learn from. And Drake, he's tall, he's lanky, he's got a powerful arm, he knows how to read a defense. So I'm excited to see next year and beyond. And sky's the limit for that.
Is
kid.
he a runner?
Yeah.
Is he a runner?
Yeah.
Too?
He's got a little dad bod, but he'll get that fixed.
That's right. Patrick Mahomes has got a dad bod.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're the ultimate. You are the poster boy for dad bods. Muss. It's just that's how.
I got a question for you as far as like just the actual kick game nowadays. It's insane to think. I mean, not many years ago, like a 50-yarder, people were like, "Whoa, you're taking a chance with this."
Correct.
And now, like you see in the NFL, you see it in college. It's like, what was the change? What is it? Just that you've been able to do it longer?
Yeah.
You start earlier, or is it just the strength and conditioning? What is it?
That's a great question. I think it's just leg strength because now you see guys hitting 58, 59, 60, 61 yarders, and it's like I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's just leg strength, and like you said, I think people are starting to kick earlier nowadays.
Yeah,
and they're getting like technique down and coaching and stuff like that. But yeah, it's cool to see because like you cross the 50 and you're in field goal range now. So it's, I don't know, the game of football has changed.
You look at the plant leg and it's like really thin, but then all of a sudden the kick leg is just monstrous.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's cool to see.
But awesome. Do you see that as a problem? Because I've heard this being proposed before, like now more recently as Muss is bringing up. Everybody's like, well, I mean, 50 yarders is like, they're just knocking these things down. And now, it's between 50 and 60 is their range. I'm like, is that a problem though? Like the NFL at least seems like we need to do something to fix this. Either make it, make the goalposts even skinnier or whatever. Like, do you feel like that's a problem?
Not really. I mean, when you have a kicker like Will Reichard, like the Vikings, and he doesn't miss, I don't see it as a problem. But I think it's cool. I mean, going out there and like lining up at half field and getting 3 points for your team is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why is this an issue? Why does this feel like this has to be fixed?
It's confusing because the NFL, don't you want scoring?
I know, don't you want scoring?
That is part of scoring.
I know. I'm very confused by this whole paradox.
So, DeGrom, what's your range? Because when Will Reichert, a week ago, almost had to line up from 70, and he hasn't missed all season. We're like, if you're going to let him miss one, let him miss from 70. And a lot of us were asking, man, I wonder what his actual practice range is. What's the longest field goal you've ever hit, even in practice?
70.
You've hit from 70. Yeah. So you have no doubt Reichert also can hit from 70.
100% he could have hit that.
Oh, man.
That would have been so cool to see. That would have been so dope. Because the record's 66 by Justin Tucker. So Will, as a rookie, breaking it by 4 yards would have been pretty dope.
Hey, do you believe in jinxes or any of that stuff or not?
Nah.
Okay, because I just looked up. You've never missed an extra point in college. 55 out of 55.
Knock on wood.
Now he does.
Now you're superstitious. Never missed.
Dragan, I got to be the guy that brings it up. How did you recover from missing that kick against North Carolina?
It was tough, man, but my teammates and coaches and then like my family obviously really helped me bounce back because that was a tough game. Obviously, the year prior, the game winner against Nebraska, which was weird because that one was 47 left hash. North Carolina was 47 right hash. So it's kind of weird how it worked out. But I mean, it was a tough moment, but ultimately you go in, you learn, see what you did wrong on Sunday, and then there's really nothing you can do about it, right? So, I mean, my teammates and my coaches really helped me bounce back from that.
So 2 things. Number 1, you hit it clearly far enough, right? It just faded a little bit off.
Just faded to the right.
Clearly, you hit it pretty good.
Yeah.
But the big talk after that game was about where they put it for you, right? Which hash they put it on. And then I think it was Justin Gard that was talking on the air in the days following. They were saying that you specifically say, I don't care where it is. Left, center, right. You don't have a specific spot, so they didn't put you in a bad spot.
No.
You like it from all 3 spots, doesn't matter.
Correct, yeah, because any spot that it's at, I should make it, regardless of the distance or anything like that. So whatever play they got to run to get in the field goal range, whatever hash it ends up on, I'm cool with. I just gotta make a kick. No, I don't care. Yeah.
So in a situation like that, I know that your leg swing is just like a golf swing, right? There's a lot of moving parts to this thing. So when you go back and watch the film of that said kick, where it just kind of just sails away from you, what do you do differently? Do you know in that moment, like, I was just off on my plant foot, or the strike was a little off? Like, when you go back and watch the film and try to learn from that moment mechanically, what could you have fixed?
In the moment, it felt pure, and then I looked up and it was just tailing to the right. But when I went back and watched film, it's like my club face, so like my foot, I closed it too soon instead of keeping it open through contact. And then when I close it, that makes it veer off right. So I just got to work on, because like all my misses this year, I veered off right. So it's the same problem. So it's just keeping that club foot open and just swinging through and keeping my eyes down. So it was, I mean, right in the moment, I was like down and I was like, God, I got to get that fixed. And then next day, film room, Coach Ligashevsky, who's a special teams coordinator, really helped me out because he's seen a lot. He's been coaching for, I don't know, 30 years. He has a Super Bowl ring, so he's seen a lot in his day. So he really helped me through that, and then we bounced back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it the same feel like when you do hit a golf ball, like just perfect?
Oh,
you hit that sweet spot.
Yeah.
You just know right when you hit it. You're just like, oh.
Perfect rotation right down the middle. It's like, oof. Oh, it's beautiful. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
We'll do Vikings news in a second. Dragan Kesich of the Gopher football team is here. Mike Mussman is here. Ben Lieber is here. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.
In my mind.
The level set and formula. Local music on the Power Trip on The Fan.
Everything was broken till you were
The Fan.
All right.
This is Frovic and Farewell. Local music on the Power Trip Morning Show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Power Trip.
It's me and Michael Vick's band.
It is? That makes sense.
Yeah, Frovic.
I get it. I love it. It's Vikings news time. Lots of guests at the main studio.
Yeah, Dragan Kesich of the Minnesota Golden Gopher football team. Ben Lieber is here. Mike Mussman is here.
It's time
Vikings
for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Radco. Can I start this? Thank you, Radco. I have a question for Ben Lieber. Ben Lieber, are you with me?
I'm with you, always and forever.
Have you ever known of an NFL quarterback to call himself out of the game as much as Anthony Richardson does for the Indianapolis Colts?
No.
I can't believe it.
I can't, no.
I've never heard such a thing.
No.
The Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson wasn't on the field for a late third quarter play in a game in which his team trailed by 2 scores and later lost. Curiously, Richardson was on the sidelines, not because he was hurt, but rather because he was exhausted. I was tired, he said. I ain't going to lie. There was a lot of running right there. And he pulled himself out of the game.
And Ben, not playing well. 10 of 32.
Yeah.
Yuck for 175 yards. He ran for 45. He's also very dynamic as a runner, but 10 of 32.
Apparently, it's exhausting to suck that bad.
He meets us.
Can't go on.
So again, the opponent of the Vikings Sunday Night Football, 7:20. The Colts are at US Bank Stadium. And tired Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. I don't want to. I'm not going to blanket statement the young guys, the young generation over here. But
he looked right at Dragan.
I know.
Don't take offense.
No offense taken.
but he certainly doesn't. He certainly doesn't help the cause when the older generation looks at the younger generation and like being mentally soft. It's like, come on, dude. Like you are the face of $1 billion franchise, and you're being way too honest about why you're out. Like, you gotta, first of all, where's the awareness?
Yeah.
You cannot say that.
I hurt my left nut.
Exactly. I've got something going on
that
I just couldn't get out there for the moment. So you don't. First of all, just lack of awareness. Don't say that because you're going to get ridiculed like you are right now on Twin Cities Radio.
There's going to be some Olay blocks that are going to be happening there. I mean, seriously, what do teammates think of something like that?
I know.
Well, even when he said, "I ain't gonna lie, brother," you should have lied.
No, you should have lied. You should have lied. And then secondarily, it's like, okay, you're not being a professional by not getting yourself in shape. Like this isn't the first time you've had a game where you've had to run around and scramble, and then like that's kind of your game. Like that was your game in college. Like you are sort of a dual threat, extend plays, huge arm, can get the ball down the field. That's part of your game. I mean, McNabb got crushed for that in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was puking in the huddle because he was so out of shape. And it's like, and I understand if I'm Terrell Owens and I'm, blasting him for that, years and years later, I'm like, dude, this is the biggest game of your life. And you couldn't get physically ready to play this game. And I know this is not the same thing because you're looking at week 7, week 8 in the NFL.
And we're looking at a 24-year-old kid or something like that too.
Yeah. It's just sad. It's just weird, man. If I'm the franchise, like this is who we're investing in. This is who we're supposed to follow.
Honestly, I looked before I brought this up because I wanted to make sure he didn't have asthma or something like that. Yeah. No, nothing like that. He was just tired.
Well, even if he did, then say that.
Yeah, you're right.
Or again, go Debo on it. Just say you got pneumonia. No, he had pneumonia, but just say you had pneumoni and you're having a hard time breathing.
I got bronchitis.
Right. Exactly. That's not problematic. Oh, God.
I love that lady.
I forgot about that soundbite. That's a bit. Where is that? Do you know where it is?
I'll find it.
God, that makes me laugh, though.
Anyway, there you go.
I forgot where we got that from.
She was there was a fire, remember?
Oh, that's right.
She was going to help, but she had bronchitis.
The fire bit.
She couldn't go in there and save anybody because she had bronchitis or what?
Yeah, Chris will find it. Yeah, we used to play that all the time. All the time.
Anyway.
I forgot about that bit. So Vikes are 5-2. Indy falls to 4-4 again. Sunday Night Football. Ben, this game got flexed.
Yeah, I know. I bet you now NBC's like, no, God.
I think it was more about getting the Jags.
Oh yeah.
Off of Sunday. You got to pause.
Sure. Pause.
Off of Sunday Night Football, right? I think that game got moved to 3:25. Vikes up to 7:20.
Yeah. Although I'm not the biggest Trevor Lawrence fan, and he looked. As the game went on yesterday, he looked better and better, and then he finished over 300 yards. But
I thought they had him, man.
I thought
Go
they
Pack,
did
go.
too. God, shut up!
He's from Wisconsin.
Thank you very much.
God, just a blown coverage at the end of the game. Like, how do you let that guy so wide open? Anyway, it's looking good for your Vikes. The thing is, I'm not going to make the same mistake, and I will admit I overlooked the Rams on Thursday night. I thought, based on the film that I was watching, and going back to what you brought up, like Matthew Stafford has not looked good up until that game, and the offense has not looked that good. Now they didn't have their 2 stud wide receivers, and boy oh boy, have I got a lot of respect for Puka Nacua. Holy cow.
Goodness, man.
I did not realize he was that thick.
Yeah, he is a big dude.
He's a big dude, man. That is one thick wide receiver.
Like, how thick are we talking?
We're talking juicy thick. Like, we're talking probably
2 C's?
6'1", about 217.
That's a huge bitch.
Yep, all on the thighs. Yeah, man, he's a talented guy, and you can see why he's very
turned
successful.
on just now?
I know.
Carly's not showing up to slap you. Must calm down.
I don't think Puka's going to straddle you.
The guy could dream.
Anyway, I'm not going to make the same mistake I did last week and overlook this Colts team, even though their quarterback is now fat and winded, and he's not going to have much gas in the tank in the third and fourth quarter. But we got a lot to prove, and we did got to go out there and prove that we're a legit football team again.
Well, and the Lions are 6-1. Dragon's Packers are 6-2 after the win against the Jaguars. The Bears are a blown Hail Mary away from
Wow.
at them being 5-2. So that I mean, the Vikes would have gone from first place to tied for last in 2 weeks. In 5 days.
Well, it's gone from a week ago Sunday morning. We were number one with a bullet in this division. Yeah. And now we're 8 days later and we're in third place sniffing at the cellar.
And again, got very lucky that the Bears lost. Man.
Wow. What was 29 thinking, man? Oh my goodness.
He put a tweet out there. I forgot what he said, but I don't know what he was doing.
He's just chirping at the crowd.
Yeah,
the play starts and he's not even looking.
And then he's the one that tipped it.
Oh, yeah.
I just never understood that. There's no way he can hear what the fans are chirping at him and they can't hear what he's chirping at. Right? It's like you're doing it just to do it.
Yeah, that was unreal.
I don't get it.
I've never seen anything like that.
It's the best.
I would love to be a part of that film room, though. Oh, yeah. See how they handle that?
You know what, Ben, I was talking about this earlier, though.
Awkward.
Like, every time a football player is on the 1 yard line and celebrates early and lets the ball go, you're like, this is the last time that's ever going to happen because people are going to see this and they're going to learn from it. They're going to realize you got to make sure you're in the end zone. And
almost happened to Pitts yesterday.
Right. And then about 3 weeks later, some other kid does it again. You're like, just get in the end zone. You would think everybody sees this Tyreek Stevenson celebrating during the Hail Mary and realize, well, that's the last time this will ever happen. Somebody else will do it.
Yeah.
100%.
They just lose their minds.
I know, they just lose their minds. They get caught up in the moment. I still don't understand. I don't understand why they think it's so swaggy and it's so hard to drop the ball right at the goal line.
Hate it.
Like I guess I don't understand that mentality. Just get the ball and you can still flip it.
Flip it when you're 8 yards deep.
Yeah, just like take 2 or 3 steps in the end zone and then flip the ball out and go do your celebration. Like why doing it right at the goal line? Is that so much swaggier? I don't get it.
Well, I'm like Justin Jefferson lately. He catches one in the end zone and gets out of the roll and he throws the ball immediately, like underhand throws the ball. And I'm like, maybe just give it just a second. Let's make sure that we have, a football play.
Yeah, you've completed the catch.
Right.
Remember, there's a whole complete the catch thing these days.
Playing hot potato with the damn thing, right? Like, it's just,
Yeah, they fight so hard to get this damn football in their hands, and then they can't wait to get rid of it once they cross the end zone.
Kickers don't deal with this.
Yeah, not really. Unless
I got bronchitis.
Have you ever?
Nobody got time for that.
Have you ever scored in college?
Bowl game last year. We did like a fake PAT, and I hurdled a dude. It was kind of cool, but.
But you're downplaying it.
Yeah, but hit the ground at the goal line. Didn't quite reach it far enough. No good. Unfortunate. But it's probably the coolest picture of my college career. So it's
somebody got you midair hurdling.
Oh yeah.
Oh, let's see
midair
this.
hurdle. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, I'll just see if I can even Google this.
Yeah.
If I can even spell your name.
It's not an easy one to spell if you haven't seen it.
Let's see. I see a lot of pictures of you. A lot of kicking pictures. High-fiving the coach.
Here it is. It's like the.
Oh, dude, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That is badass.
It was dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's like Dwight Clark's The Catch. Oh, yeah, that is legit.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. That was the most nervous I've ever been for anything. I ran out there and my heart was pounding. I was like, oh, here we go.
That's got to be framed up in the house at some point.
My mom already printed it out.
Yeah.
That's the best.
It's all good.
How do you in that moment kind of poker tell it? How do you convince yourself I'm nervous, this is different, but I have to act like this is every kick I've ever kicked? How do you stay in that same physical mindset?
We repped that thing so many times during bowl prep. So going out there, I was nervous, but once we kind of shifted into the thing where I'm about to get the direct snap, I was like, no turning back now. We might as well just go for it.
Hey, you got a cool picture out of it.
That is a great picture.
I was supposed to throw it. I couldn't. He was covered. I was like, I don't know what to do here.
Sure.
Takes me back to my 6th grade days when I was a running back.
Were you a decent one?
I was pretty good. I was an athlete.
Works.
You are an athlete. Don't say was. Don't say was.
Yeah, maybe an NFL athlete at some point, right? That's still the dream. That's still the goal.
Knock on wood.
Let's get there.
Yeah.
Dragan Kesic is here. Mike Mussman, Ben Lieber. We'll do Fan 5 in a second. Headlines in the 8 o'clock hour. This is the Power Jim Morning Show on the Fan.
The Row Zone and depths of the Cove.
The Fan.